Let's jump back into this form and look at some additional question types and just give an example of how each one might work within this form. So I'm going to come down and I'm going to add another question down here on the bottom. And we are going to select the linear scale. And for linear scales, like a Likert scale, we can ask a question and basically it's going to give this individual a chance to respond either way low, way high, or somewhere in between. So I'm just going to say this: I can count to 100. All right, so there's the statement there. Label, 1 usually being low. I can count, and the high label, I can count higher than 100. Okay, so there's a linear scale right there. Now I can change these. What I've been taught is that for a linear scale, you actually should have an even number. That way you don't, the respondent can't just pick the middle number. So if I select 5, then they could pick 3, and that's somewhere in the middle. But if I select 4, they either have to choose that they're either the lower end or the higher end. So linear scale can work great for lots of different questions that you might want to ask your students or your parents. Let's take a look at the next one here. I'm just going to, again, add a question. I'm going to select a multiple choice grid. Now this is a great question for asking about several different things within one question. So what is your comfort level with the following tools? And so what we're going to do for rows is we're going to go ahead and add these tools. So Google Drive, Google Chrome, Google Docs. We can just keep adding Google Slides. Here we go, and we're just going to leave it at that. So those are rows. Now what we have to do is we have to put column headings up. So I know nothing. Okay. My next column might be I know a little. How about I am pretty good, and I am an expert. All right. So again, what it's going to allow me to do, and I'm just going to go ahead and go to preview mode up here, it's going to give me the opportunity to ask several questions. And now what you'll note is that each one of these questions requires one response per row. So I can't do more than one. I can only select one of these 4 responses here for this particular row, right? So let's go back. I'm going to go ahead and close this, and we're going to leave this. We're going to go back and we're going to do a couple more. Down below here, we're going to add another question. And this one, instead of being a multiple choice grid, this is a checkbox grid, sorry. And so this is one that where similar to the one up above, where I can have multiple rows and then columns, but this would allow me, or allow individuals responding, to check more than one box. So it really is a great way to create a question where you might have more than one correct response. So let's write a question that says something about where would you be most to use the following tools. And let's just add some tools in here. So mobile phone, laptop, Chromebook, and let's put a couple others in here, a tablet, and let's just leave it at that. So now what we can do is you can come over here and we can say at the office, at home, while driving, and let's put one, let's have to copy that and take that and make sure that's there, while driving, while outdoors. Again, it's the same setup as this. The only difference is if we go to preview it will allow me to select multiple. So I might use my mobile phone at all these places. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these, not while driving, of course, while outdoors. And so again, it's very similar in nature, just that I can select more than one option here. So I'm going to close that back up, leave that, and let's go ahead and take a look at the last two pieces here. I'm going to go ahead and add a question, and we're going to come down here to date and time. So I'm going to add a date. When are you able to meet? Question, oops, question mark there. And then what it can do is it'll take and it'll add the month, the day, and the year. So again, basically what I'm asking my respondents to do is tell me what month, day, and year they're able to meet. The time frame also works really well. So if I click on that, I come down to time. It gives me the option of saying what time, time works for you. All right, question mark. So again, it's going to give me that. So let's go ahead and go to the preview so you can see what that looks like. Click on that, come to the bottom here. So there's my month, day, and year. So I can go to a calendar view. I can say, let's do March 8th there. What time works for you? And I can go ahead and add an AM or PM time. So let's just say 9:30 AM. And then I can submit that question there, or submit that response. So simple, easy way to do that. Now there's one more piece that I skipped over here. I haven't used it much, but I know several folks that have. It's the image or file upload. So what I want you to notice is that files will be uploaded from the form owners Google Drive, uploaded to the form owners Google Drive. Respondents will be required to sign in to Google when the file uploaded. So if I'm going to, what you can do is you can actually have students upload a file to a form. So on the specific file types, and then it gives me the opportunity. So here it is. So upload your presentation. Oops. Here. All right. So, and some of my presentations are documents, some are spreadsheets, some of them have presentations, and so on and so forth. I can tell it how many files. I can give them 5 files, and then it's going to give me an option to restrict the size. This form is going to set up to 1 GB files. And so notice that really nice, easy way. So it's going to throw this into the Google Form Creators Google Drive. Again, each of these questions, you need to make sure you're requiring these if you want to make sure that your individuals filling this out are required to go ahead and respond to each one of these questions. So that's just the other questions that you can use. We're going to take another look, or a deeper look into some of the other parts of Google Forms in another video, but that's it for the other question types for Google Forms.